this is Michael Glenn. In this episode of the Dojo Show, we're studying the kata, Katate, furi, menuchi. This kata is a quick strike. You sweep the sword out of the space and you strike him in the head and then you're out. Once more. Do you know this one, what it's called? Koshi-ori, okay? I go backwards, diagonal, and I'm to the inside of the punch. Here, okay? Then the stick lifts up here to break the spine. And this is kind of a hard fall. If you can, you do a back roll, but you might not be able to because it depends if the stick is on your back or not, you know. Go ahead, you can say it. That's actually the name of the technique. One more time, what's the name? Ganseki Nage, okay? All right, everybody grab a new partner, try this one. He's got it mostly. Do one more. So what's this one called? Oni kudaki. Okay, the only part he's missing is that part right there. Okay, so this usually begins with a strike to the ribs or the body to sort of soften them up a little. And I did a little extra hard so he would remember. So grab a new partner and try this, please. So there's a trick here that I'll help you with. So I strike here, right? This is where you were, right? So now to grab the stick, I don't want to reach for it. I want to bring my body to it. Okay? So when it's here, I don't want to try to reach for it. Like, it will work on someone like you because I'm stronger than you. But on somebody who's stronger than you, it won't work. So what you want to do instead is use your feet. So I take steps to the stick. And then your arm just gets trapped in there as I do that. And as I step to the stick, I also turn to face you. You're close, man. Your body position is wrong, though. So I'm here, I put this here. I don't want to try to reach and grab that because Jesse's strong and he wouldn't let me, right? So instead, I use my feet and walk to the stick. And now I turn to face him. So it's actually this turning to face him that does the lock. That's what does the lock, right? Before I turn to face him, it's not really locked, but when I turn to face him, it's locked up. Oni kudaki, if you do it for real, you're dislocating the shoulder. We're not really doing it that way because it's not safe, but let me show you without the stick. So here, right, I come here, and as I make this turn, I didn't really do it, but in reality, you would pop that shoulder. When you apply this here, you're dislocating this shoulder. Okay, you're like, okay, I'm not really doing it, but that's the end of his shoulder. Okay. So we were using this as a warm-up. For some people, this was review. Some of you, maybe this was new. These 4 techniques are considered very basic Hanbo kihon. And for me, I expect by the time you get to black belt, you should know them inside and out. And you should be able to do them freely. Okay. So when I say freely, that means in any direction with different types of attacks, you know, this kind of stuff. We're still starting like we have been in this Mune Muso no Kamae here. Okay, James is gonna cut from Daijodan. I'm striking here and then attacking his face. This is Katate menuchi, or Katate furi menuchi. Here, right to the face. Very simple looking technique. One more time. Here, right to the face. Men means face, so menuchi, I'm striking the face. Yeah, this is the Katate furi. You guys might remember we've been studying these Hanbo furis, right? So on the side. So this comes up in the space, hits the sword, and then I strike menuchi. Okay? Very simple looking technique, but we're going to start there and go forward. There's a few things that are protecting you here. The first is knocking that aside, okay? Look at my distance, okay? So now when I go to strike him in the face there, I keep this extension, okay? And the strike to the face is actually like a shield for you. One more. So I can't really do it, but you see how that's driving. If I really struck him in the face, yeah, it's going to drive him back, and it protects me from his sword. So I would knock that aside. Okay. So I use the shinai to protect him, but if you're doing it with a wooden one, it's going to have a definite impact. How'd that feel?
Pain is like in one area, but it
Kind of takes over, yeah. Yeah, you notice he just wants to fall down there because that really sucks being nailed in the head with that staff, right? So think about that when you're doing it. Don't really do it with the stick though. Yeah, it's like when we take a full bow and strike down, you know, overhead. A little bit, yeah. After this strike, I grab here and then my hands slide. So I do my furi here and I'm protecting my center line. Okay, so what I see everybody making, the mistake you're making is everybody's like swinging for the fences, and you see how now my body's turned and my stick's out of not protecting me anymore. Right, one more. So here, okay. So it's still guarding my center here. Now all I do is I let this drop to my rear hand and attack there. Okay. The other mistake that everybody's making on this second one, everybody's coming in. Okay, and that puts you in a lot of danger against this sword. So instead of coming in, stay out. Use your distance. This could be men, but it also could be kote. Okay, so keep some distance for that second one. Don't choke up and come in like this. Not yet. There are henka that are done like that, but right now, work on keeping distance. Okay. So as much extension as you can get on the Hanbo, the better. Okay? So now that you guys are starting to figure the steps out, try to make it more fluid. So it's just here, here, right? It's like a continuation, all one motion. Yeah. So try not to make it really robotic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's just one fluid motion. So it's strike. Now that you got it all straight, I'm going to thoroughly confuse you again, right? So he cuts here, I pick this up, and I'm coming from this side. Different grip. So here, it's effective, huh?
Yeah, like he's right in the eye.
Yeah, let's go back this way. So there, I'm grabbing this end this time. Before I was dropping and grabbing this end, but now I'm grabbing this end, striking. Okay, so if you've done Bojutsu, you might remember this kind of strike. That's basically what this is. So here, so it's the face, but you could be striking kote as well. Okay? He doesn't want to stay there because it's very dangerous, right? Any questions there? So the last one, after this strike, I was letting the bow drop and striking that way. This time I'm grabbing this end of the bow and flipping that way. Okay? I know you'll probably get confused, but try it. This next one is very similar. There's only one difference. So this time I'm on this side. Richard wasn't ready for that. This way, okay. But it's the same motion, rotating motion. This way. This can attack the hands too, right? This Katate furi that we're studying goes both directions, right? So it goes this direction, but then it continues going that direction. Okay? So now I'm just doing the other direction of it. Once again, Richard. Here, okay? So you saw one time I went for the hands, the other time for the face. That's all going to depend on how threatened you feel by his sword. If the sword still seems like it's a threat, then you attack kote. If you think you have space, you can attack the face. One more?
Yeah.
Got the idea? Yes, this is done with the legs, right? So it's the legs that deliver that. All right, everybody try that, please. Here, right? If you've ever thrown a bow shuriken, that's what this is like. Okay, some of you know what bow shuriken are. Bow shuriken are the straight shuriken that are like needles or whatever, or nails. You throw them this way, yeah, using the whole body. And so now I'm throwing this bow in the same fashion. Okay, one more time. So here. So that's you see all the leverage that gets on the bow, all the speed that creates on the end of the staff. You know, it's gonna snap and hit pretty hard. Okay? So think about that when you're doing it. It's like throwing a bow shuriken. You're just throwing the staff. James's point is useful. Can I see that, Hanbo? You compare these, right? Who has the advantage with distance? Yeah, it's like the sword probably has the advantage, you know. That Joe staff there is a bit longer. That Hanbo is a bit longer, but they're pretty equal, and you don't have much advantage with a hanbo against a sword. So James's point is good, and you have to, when you're doing these techniques, you have to rely on your timing and your accuracy to protect you. So if James is cutting here, first I'm clearing this space, right? And then second, I'm striking there. But if this strike isn't done well, or it's weak or something, I'm in big trouble now. So you also have to remember that it's not just 2 steps. So if I do this and it doesn't work for some reason and he comes in, I can move, right? I can adjust, I can evade as necessary. So yeah, this seems like you're maybe too close, but you have to rely on the fact that by hitting him with this, it's going to drive him farther away from you. But if you miss, you got to be prepared. Yeah, zanshin is important there. So. Okay. So that's there, and that's there. Pretty simple. One more time. So I'm attacking his rear hand, but if that hand weren't there for some reason, it would be under the chin. Okay. So as he punches, I'm just letting this rise. Okay. This way. Somebody else? So here, I'm already in range here, right? So, yeah. One more time. You guys heard that, right? I gave him a little love tap. But you notice, like, just that little tap that I gave him, that made him want to fall over. So if I did it for real, he would have no choice. He'd be falling. Yeah? Good? Yeah, it's just up this way, and then very simple. Okay? Yeah, this is either hitting his rear hand or it's hitting up under his chin. Okay? You really want to focus on moving this with your body. So you don't want to lift it with your hand like this. You instead want your body to swing it. Okay? So just my step, you notice I'm not holding it very much here. My step just lifts it. So it's my body lifting it. So that's the feeling you want to have. So my body lifts it into place here, and then that. So with any bojutsu that we do, even with the longer bow, you're doing everything with your body. Okay. So my hands barely do anything here. It's my body that's moving the stick. And so for all the strikes that we do, it's my body that's striking, not my hands. The mistake people make is they try to use arm muscle to do the strike, and it's not right. And same with this strike. This should not be arm muscle. It should be your body delivering it. Okay. I'm striking here, right? I strike there. Remember that from the beginning of class? Yeah? Somebody else? So strike, strike. Yeah. Somebody else? Strike in here. Okay. So at the beginning of class we did some skiiri, and this naturally can transition into that kind of thing. But it can transition into a lot of things, right? So I can pick it up here. See how this arm got locked up? So there's a lot of options there. It can get really free. So if you're ready for that, you can add those things in there. Okay, this is the last one we're doing, so play around a little.